Hello everyone and welcome to the penultimate episode of the going through each AFL club's best 22 for 2024 series. And today we're having a look at the West Coast Eagles coming off a wooden spoon, but they do have a good mix of youth and experience, which I'll go through here, and it'll be interesting to see if they can keep some of their more experienced players on the park and how that could affect them being more or less competitive in season 2024. But it's for sure going to be a work in progress for the Eagles. But as you can see now, when I go through their best 22, there are still some pretty good players in their side, which I'll go through now. Starting in the back line, Duggan, Barrass, Cole, Reid, McGovern, Yeo. On paper, that is still a pretty good defence, really. You've got Yeo, Barrass, obviously still probably one of the better key defenders in the competition. McGovern, probably a bit past his prime now, but still a reliable player, and was pretty good when he was playing in 2023. Duggan and Cole know what they can do. Yeo could go through the midfield as well, same with Harley Reid. Harley Reid could basically play anywhere. I've heard that you might play a little bit more half-back to start with, so that's where I've got him named here. So it's a pretty strong backline on paper. They might have a little bit to do if the midfield can't get the ball on the forward line, which will be interesting to see. But on paper, that defence doesn't look too shabby. The midfield now, midfield is a little bit light on. Headlined by Tim Kelly, probably their best player in season 2023. Oscar Allen would be the only other person pushing for that title. Gaff and Hoff on the wings. Gaff was pretty disappointing. They'd like him to return some more consistent footing in 2024. Hoff, one of their more exciting youngsters. He can play in the back line as well. Flynn in the ruck, who they've brought across from the Giants. He'll be their number one ruck, I would suspect. Sheed and Kelly, who I touched on earlier, their star member of that midfield, isn't an overly strong midfield opposed to others. And of course, Ruben Jinby as well. Massive bodied. You can't believe he's a second-year player looking at him. He's going to be one of the real contested beasts of the future. So him along with Harley Reid, there are a couple of exciting players for West Coast fans to look out for. The forward line now, Elijah Hewitt, he can also chop out in the midfield a little bit, but I think he'll spend most of his time forward to start with, especially he did that last year. I reckon that'll be similar this year. Darling, another one who they'd hope can spend more time out in the park. Liam Ryan, I don't think he'll be fit for the start of the season, but when he is, he's still a very exciting player, similar with Cripps. When he's out there, he can still kick goals. Oscar Allen, one of the, if not the premier young key forward of the competition, recently named co-captain, so he's really the face of the Eagles now, you could say, and a huge part of their future. And Tyler Brockman rounds out the forward line, coming across from the Hawks. Being a Hawthorn fan, I was very disappointed to see him go. A very exciting young small forward, and one West Coast fans should be excited for. Might struggle a little bit with the limited supply he might get at the Eagles, but the talent is definitely there. So when he gets the ball in his hands, good things happen, usually more often than not. The bench now, Hunt, who I think came, Jaden Hunt, first year at the Eagles last season, I believe, came in the upper end of their best and fairest. So I assume he'll be in the side, continue to be in the side, playing mainly as a half-back. Bailey Williams took on number one ruck duties for the most part in 2023. He'll be playing more forward now with Flynn coming across, playing as the second ruck. I suspect they'll play the both of them to start with. Noah Long, one of the later picks that they acquired in the 2022 draft and played a lot of games in his first season. And so he looks like a bit of a diamond in the rough. So some good picking there, which they'll need to do for this rebuild to be successful. They're going to need to pick very well. So that's a big tick for him so far. And Campbell Chesser, first round pick from a couple of years ago, rounds out the Eagles 22. So there you have it, guys. Let me know if you think somebody is criminally missing out. But yeah, there is some a good mix of youth and experience. It's still a side, I reckon, which will probably struggle a bit in 2024, being down the lower end of the table, of the ladder, I should say. But there will definitely be some games where the Eagles will be competitive and some hope for their fans to cling on to at some stages. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and make sure to tune in next time when we look at the 18th and final video of this series, when we look at the Western Bulldogs. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.